Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to yet another iRacing video. And this time we're going to be going into the F3 series. Quite an exciting one, but before we do so, just wanted to show you something cool. We managed to meet Tim Tramnitz over in Hamburg at a sim racing launch. We got to meet him. We got to get our shirt signed and everything. We took a nice little picture as well. It's a Formula 3 driver from Germany, and well, did really well as a Red Bull Junior team driver. Is now finding himself over on his way, hopefully, to Formula 1 in the near future. So it was quite nice meeting him and actually getting a sign as well, as you can see. Now back to the racing content. We are finding ourselves over in P13. Out of 25 drivers with no qualifying lap in quite a strong field there, but we are also up in iRacing rating a little bit more. So I can't wait to see how this one's going to go here. But we are well off here, and obviously these cars will feel a little bit faster and have more downforce than the GT4, than the F4 cars that we saw before. As always, we're in our motion rig as well. And we're finding ourselves at the Circuit de la Sarthe, aka the race where you usually see the 24 hours of Le Mans, and already you can see some big incidents ahead here. So many drivers getting involved, and we're just able to sneak by. That's pretty nice. But that was, yeah, not a great start, I gotta say. That is absolutely messy right there, but well, we'll be taking it for what it's worth, and we actually got off really well there. Finding ourselves over in a 6-lap race. Obviously this track is incredibly long, together with the Nordschleife, basically the longest track in the game, and by a big margin too. This is a big straight we're going to be finding ourselves on, for example, with only really 2 small corners in between them. So it's a very interesting one, I have to say. And obviously as always, driving in our nice little setup motion rig. There's actually a video that we have on the channel as well, that you can go check out to see how that one was into place and how we set it up. It's quite nice. Definitely adds to that immersion, especially when rallying, something that we recently started doing on the channel as well. Now, before I point that out, I also wanted to say that the links to Tim Tramnitz's stuff are all in the description as well. So if you want to check that out, feel free to. So overall is good here, but the slipstream will allow Christian Smith to get ahead, and actually it's Marcus Ulmer who's still behind us. And well, he's going to try and make a move over, but he's going to leave a space here, and he backs out, and we maintain the position at least for the time being. We'll be taking that for what it's worth at the moment. Now back to that big straight. Obviously it's very hard to actually overtake. It's a little bit foggy outside as well. That usually doesn't help when it comes to the safety rating and all those kind of things. Obviously last time around we managed to promote over towards the C-Class, where we now got access to a few other leagues. We tried to do one of those multi-class races before as well. That didn't go as planned, but well, we gotta say that it's just what it is sometimes. We keep pushing here. Let's see if we can go all the distance here. So far it's not that much happening here on this very fast part of the circuit here, but we're gonna get to the slower sector soon now, and there's actually quite a few corners into this as well. Trying now to push up all the way. See, this circuit is a very iconic one and hosts the legendary 24 hours of Le Mans. So far, I'll say the WEC is very high up the list of things that I want to watch in near future, but I haven't actually gotten around to do so, sadly. It's definitely one of those races that I do want to at some point get myself to, because that sounds just amazing, doesn't it? And oh, that's a big crash. We get hit from behind. We have no... Yeah, I was about to say we don't even have a rear spoiler anymore, but we also have wheel damage to make it even worse, and that is just such a big hit right there. And now things are not looking good here. That's massive damage. That's going to take us a long while to repair as well. And we tried to obviously just do what we can do now, but we're so far behind, first of all. Luckily, we're quite close to the pits. That's the only thing working in our favor. If this would have happened in turn 1, we would have had a massive problem. Try and make it back to the pits, but this time we actually do manage to make it in, but repairs are going to take a long while. Eventually, we do make it in here. We do get the car fixed up here. So many drivers actually did have to come in the end. But yeah, our positions, they will be back to where we definitely don't want them to be. A little bit further back the field. And unfortunately, that is just part of it. Now we get into it again, and let's see how things will be going. Obviously, the thing that is quite important to point out as well, these cars obviously are open withers. They are relatively weak. But I don't think we would have survived that anyway. And oh, then we fortunately find ourselves there. Facing the wrong way a little bit as well. That's going to cost us some extra time just to rub a little bit extra salt in the wound. Shame really how those things are going at the moment. But there's just not much that we could do about it, unfortunately. There is another spin. This time actually we don't fully spin around, but it is once again just being put to the test. Things just not looking the way they're supposed to. We get back into it again now. And there is the chicane. Oh, this time around we save ourselves from spinning out. But it definitely feels like we're driving a lost race at this point anyways. But that is the fastest lap, at least for us here. So we're getting there. It's just taking a while, fortunately. Making our way over again to the final couple corners here around the Circuit de la Sarthe. We managed to make it stick, luckily. That's good news for us as well. We'll be taking that for what it's worth here. And there we cross the checkered flag as well. In the end, the position isn't even too bad. We've had a couple disconnects through this, a couple DNFs, and that's helped us push the position up a little bit more. So that's nice, I gotta say. In the end, well, that will be it. And 11 incident points. We do lose a tiny bit of safety rating here, but the iRacing rating has come up again. So our iRating is actually improving quite a little bit here. And in the end, well, P11, 97 out of 1862. So we're obviously not off to the greatest of starts here, but with our consistency, I think we'll be able to get something done. We'll be taking that for what it's worth here. Here we are then at the start. And in the end, here we see what really happened the entire race. Because it was quite a chaotic race. And already off to the first corner. A lock up here from Dan Adams, and he spins around. And that's what's caused this massive crash around here. And then he gets spun around as well. Finds himself somehow facing the right direction around. But there's so much damage done to all the cars in the field. And that's just never a good look, is it? That is incredibly tough as well. Now more and more drivers getting involved. Here's another replay of that incident as well. Just look at what's going on there. It is so messy all along. So many drivers getting involved. So many drivers getting damage. That's just obviously not the way you want it there. A little bit later on, we find ourselves aboard with Marcus Ulmer, who's trying to get a move over on Nikita Danilov, and he's able to be very successful in that too. A little bit later on, still on lap 1 this is, it's Matthew Pollack here, trying to get by Jose Luis Cachero Velasca in the Red Bull car, and in the end makes that move happen as well. The massive slipstream helping out on a track like this, obviously. Great to see. I have to say as well here. Here is a missed corner by Andrea Imperali. Messed it up and loses a couple positions. But I think also, judging by the way that he's steering, he also has a tiny bit of damage to his wheel geometry. So that's never going to help out in the long run, especially. Now here is Marcus Ulmer. We saw him pause up the first, and now he's attacking us. In the end, is able to go side by side into the corner. He's well past it at this point. And just has to stick the move. Squeezes us a little bit to the right, but there's definitely space. We stick around, and then we just make that move happen. He's very cautious into this. Doesn't want to cause an incident. Therefore, doesn't pass us just yet. Once again, José Lucy Vilaseca finding himself facing the wrong way after it was Andrea Pirelli that he had contact with, and eventually is able to continue, but yeah, now has no rear wing, no downforce, and that's going to be tricky to get along, especially considering the lap is just so incredibly long. And there he crashes again, unfortunately. That is never a good look. And now needs to reconsider, is this even worth driving? And he's eventually going to toggle to the pits as well. Here's Marcus Ulmer again. This time around he's getting a little bit closer. There's no room up the inside just there. Tries to make it work a little bit later on as well, but now it's going to have that slipstream, but isn't possible just yet. And without a rear wing, we see Laurent Klein trying to make his way around the corner, but there's just no downforce to keep the car in place. In the end, well, loses out and completely lose control, and in the end, well, that one wheel is not looking like it's in a good spot either, so that's a shame. There's Peter Schwab together with Alexander Kopekin. And there is, a disconnect, and then they somehow get together. That might have been a little bit of a netcode / lag thing, because that looked incredibly weird from that side at least. And David Fairley losing control while braking for the chicane here, finds himself facing the wrong way as well, but luckily no damage done to the car, just has to rejoin. Then it's good to go. That's maybe worth something here. I'm not entirely sure how they'll be treating this afterwards, but that is definitely a shame, you know. He's able to get the car going. We'll be leaving it as is here. Here is a very big incident, and that was the one that we saw before. That is massive contact between us, and yeah, already there's the first disconnect as well. That is a big hit right there. I must say that's not the way we want it to be, but yeah, that is also why we had such big contact between us here. Yeah, that's obviously also why our race ended up not going the right way. Here is Jason Branch, who finds himself spinning around. Is able to continue the race afterwards with no damage. So in that sense, he's doing better than us. That is maybe worth a little something here. Here we continue again. Another attack being opened up here. Number 9 car, here's the onboard of that as well. Steve and May trying to get by Jordi Vasquez. And is able to successfully pull off that move as well. It's going to be able to move up another position here. And immediately another attack opens here as well. Gustavo Adolfo Sanchez Torres goes by Jordi Vasquez, who just got an overtake done. That shows you how incredibly important the slipstream is on a circuit like this. That shows here's another attack here, perhaps. Trying to attack each other. Coming into this high-speed corner soon. At the moment, though, things are just looking quite solid all around here. No surprises here. Here's a move. Potentially around then. It has to come from very far and is able to do that successfully. And actually is able to sneak in nicely as well. Well done. We'll be taking that move successfully here. And here we see more cars fighting with one coming into the pits here. So we see some players getting in. There's that spin. Oh no, Christian Smith goes off in the pit entry to make it even worse. That is just not how you want to be finishing up your race like that. Now the car actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. If you pull like here, trying to avoid a spin, is able to do so, but does cost them one position. And Jason Branch goes by nicely. Immediately needs to be careful as well, because we do see that the car number 19 is approaching rapidly as well. That is Stephen May, a car of Mentioned before, so far is able to stay clean, but the attack will still be open. And there he goes to wide into the chicane. That's going to lose him a lot of time on that exit, and therefore that is an easy pass. And actually, he's going to end up losing 2 positions there as well. Gustavo Adolfo Sanchez Torres is able to continue as well. Jason Bronze now. The white and blue navy car's going to be finding himself spinning around, unfortunately. And also loses a couple positions on his way to do so. But yeah, messy as always. Able to continue eventually here, but it's going to cost him a lot of time. Obviously, the turning circle, when you don't have that downforce, are actually quite big in this car. Interestingly enough. Eventually, we continue. More and more happening. Who's able to get this over the line here? It's Stephen May versus Gustavo Adolfo Sanchez Torres. Move seems successful for now, and I think he's just going to have to let him go. And here comes another driver from the back as well. So overall is good, though. We're not seeing a fight happening completely. Just trying to come around here, but on this big slipstream now, immediately you're able to capitalize. They get close up now, but they've got a long way to go to the corner still. Maybe a move down the inside would be possible around here, and it's definitely looking like they want to go for this. And here we see Matthew Pollock finding himself going off the track there. That is quite a mistake being made there. It's going to cost him quite a bit of time to recover the car as well. Eventually he's able to do so though, and is able to rejoin the track safely, which is arguably the most important thing around here. Here we see another battle. That is once again Matthew Pollock making another mistake, and therefore we'll lose a position now. Jason Branch goes right by. He's able to rejoin the track eventually, but it's going to cost him a lot of time. And now here's a nice little spectator view onto Gabriel Guiteau, who's finding himself being chased by Ken Arabenson. That is actually for the position number 2 as well, and actually he's just gonna let him by as well. The LPN wants nothing to do with this, and he's just gonna let him go. Here is Rylan Gordon, and he's gonna go overtake Gabriel Guiteau as well. So he's losing quite a few positions now. Maybe he wants nothing to do with this, prioritizing his safety rating a little bit more over the rest here. The move, well, will be successful. Here we see Jason Branch make his way by Matthew Pollock as well. So he's lost quite a few positions here in the end, unfortunately here. Jody Vasquez now trying to just gain up all some time because he's currently driving in no man's land, and so far seems to be doing well, but then unfortunately loses the backhand a little bit, has to adjust, and that's going to cost him a little bit of time as he has to go a little bit over the sand there. Now no big deal. Able to continue when Matthew Pollock not having the greatest of moments there into that chicane, and now immediately needs to pull this one off as well, but once again just a little bit too eager on the throttle, and that's going to cost him as well. Actually ends up spinning the wrong way even then. That is quite unfortunate, I gotta say. Eventually continues. Number 22 driver now, all white car, David Fairley. The chicane where multiple drivers have had issues before, and well, he will as well. Finds himself facing the wrong way there. That is never a good sign. He's able to continue the race at least. It will cost him a little bit of time to recover, so we'll have to take that for what it's worth. Here we'll see another car trying to chase. That is Rylan Gordon, unfortunately missing his braking point. And will be going off as well. Maybe not the way that he intended to, but obviously trying to get the pressure a little bit more up here. And here is Charlie Dawkins here going for an overtake onto Andrea Imperali for the race lead as well. We'll be taking that for what it's worth here. Eventually, Andrea Imperali loses control and goes off as well. That is never a good sign, I gotta say. Is able to continue the race as if nothing's happened here. A little bit later on, we see Matthew Pollack again, so I hope that we're not seeing a repetition of what we have seen before. That would be such a shame. He had been struggling, and this time around, well, he's able to at least keep it clean in that sense, but it does cost him a little bit of time. Braking and having to take an alternative line to make his way through there. Here is Jason Branch together with Gerardi Vasquez, and they touch, and that means that both the drivers will have massive damage into it. There's the contact. Oh, that is not a good look, I gotta say. Both drivers getting messy damage there. Things just not looking good at all there. A little bit later on, we see Ken Arbenson again, together with Andrea Emperali. He's going down and down the field now. And eventually we'll just be losing position after position, but so be it, really. There's that move. He's very successful at it too. Now we later on see another move as well on the straight. And Gordon goes by nicely. No surprises there. He's been very quick with this as well. Now here is Gustavo Adolfo Sanchez Torres and Steve M. May. And they're finding themselves going head to head. They're side by side, but there's just no space on that outside, so we'll have to wait. He's able to keep the car under control though, although he's not going to be happy about that one. Then misses the braking point, locks up the brakes and hits the wall. That is never a good sign for either your safety rating or your race result, really. And continues as if nothing happened. Now here is the number 1 driver. The number 4 car of Charlie Dawkins takes a victory here. After basically a completely clean race here. No surprises there. Has done incredibly well to make everything work. And will be finishing up the race in P1. And is able to take that victory. He's going to be very happy with that one, I think, as well. And here comes Matthew Pollack again. And he's able to avoid spinning this time around. I think only barely, though. Does need to lock up a little bit to make it work. But, oh well, that's a shame. Here is the number 4 driver. The number 21 car of Marco Hirt was going to finish the race up as well. No podium for him, unfortunately. Will be taking a very good position with this as well. That will be a great end result for some drivers, for some not so much. I think overall it's been a very successful race. Now, as always, if you like the content, make sure you like and subscribe as well if you can. Here is a nice little qualifying hot lap before we'll send you guys off as well. A 3:55. Obviously, this is quite a long circuit, so don't let that scare you away. Obviously, that is also the tricky bit around it here. It's one of the longest in the world, of course, and so for the lines are looking quite solid through here. No surprises here. Now, to give you a little bit of a perspective as well on how these things are looking, it's actually quite tough because the F3 cars obviously never really driven here in modern days. They have actually before as well. That was around the Bugatti circuit, which is actually what the circuit is partially made up of. So the Circuit de la Sarthe is basically the circuit Bugatti Le Mans with more added to it. So it's partially public road, partially permanent track. Making it very interesting. The thing, however, with that is you don't have a lot of lap times to go because this track's only really used for their WEC round and their respective support series, of course. So, yeah, therefore, you can't really compare it to anything. And that's kind of also the tricky thing with this, right? Because, well, they raced here in some races before, right? You have the Michelin Le Mans Cup, the Super Trofeo, the Fun Cup, I think, has been here as well. The WEC being the main one. But there's just very little to put this into perspective with. Which is quite unfortunate. Unfortunately, that is just what it is here. But yeah, 3:55 is quite an impressive lap time. Let me tell you that much here. Now, obviously, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe as well. We do quite a bit of different styles of content, rallying, some IRL stuff. So if you're into that, make sure you like and subscribe as well. We'll be posting up more videos out of the way. And thank you for 6K as I'm recording this. It's a very impressive number. And I'm beyond thankful to have the opportunity to do the voiceovers for you as well. It's quite awesome to see how it's grown because I've been there from the start, obviously. And it's really been madness since that, I have to say. Now trying to get into this a little bit more here. At the moment, well, just enjoying this very long ride through here. It obviously takes a while to actually get to the next corner as well in any car. Roughly 3:15s can be done by the WEC cars. These cars obviously are not that quick, but still quite impressive stuff, I have to say. So overall, it's been good. I'll be taking that for what it's worth at the moment. All seems good for now, and here is a very nice line through there. Just look at how much he's feeling confident on the sticks right now. This is obviously what got him the fastest lap over the roll as well. Coming to the final, more tight corners now as well. Take that for what it's worth here. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, there's a video on the screen right now if you want to see another one, or click on the bottom right to subscribe to our channel as well. It's been an absolute pleasure providing the commentary for you. I hope you guys have enjoyed as always. As for now, I hope to see you guys the next time as well. I hope you guys have a very pleasant rest of your day. I'll see you guys later.